different side. So let's go ahead and install it. I'm going to take off the one I have. And just clamp it on, just like that. So when I'm putting in my invisible zipper, I always seem to get backwards on it. So the best way for me to figure out how it goes on is I put it together how it would be when it's finished. Okay, so I know this is ideally how it's going to look. So I think, okay, well this side is going to line up with this side and be sewed right on the fold. So I'll unzip it. And I know that I need my zipper to be pinned on the seam allowance, matching right up with that fold. And match the top up with the top of the fabric. Pin it in. Ideally we would hand baste it, but just for demonstrations, we're going to leave it like this. And the same thing goes for the other side. You take it and you pin it on to the seam allowance right at the fold. And now when we get to our sewing machine, our stitch will be right on the inside of this fold, so it won't show up on the outside of the fabric, and when it folds over, it'll look just like this. Okay, so the important part to remember when we're getting ready to sew our invisible zipper with our invisible zipper foot is the two grooves right here. We have a left one and a right one. On this one, we want to have this, the bump of our invisible zipper fit into the groove. So just line it up. I know it's kind of hard to see, but you want to line it up as best as you can. Make sure your needle is in the center position and you can start sewing. Ideally we would have hand basted this, but for demonstration purposes we'll just use pins. So you can see the needle is going right on the side of the zipper. It's not nicking the plastic teeth at all. That's what you want to shoot for. And the teeth should be lined up with the fold of your seam allowance. Once you get the hang of it, you'll be able to sew these on without even using pins. So as we get closer to the edge, closer to the end, we're just going to sew all the way up till we get to this. Don't worry about going past this. We'll get to the bottom later. And backstitch. And now you are ready to start the other side. So now that we're ready to do the other side, we're going to do the exact same thing, just on the right groove instead of the left. So go ahead and line it up. Make sure your needle is still in the center position. Backstitch and sew like you did before. So now that we've sewn both sides of the zipper together, just pull your zipper up a little bit so that we can work around the tail of the zipper. So as you can see, I have a little bit of stitches left right there, and I need to sew up from the bottom of the seam up to this stitch. So I'm going to move the tail out of the way. I'm going to sew on the same seam allowance so that my stitches will line up. Backstitch. And get those stitches to line up as best as you can. Just like that. And now we can just turn the zipper, zip it all the way up, and we'll have an invisible zipper. So this is what it looks like finished. You can't see the zipper at all. And I can guarantee you the easiest way to do it is with the invisible zipper foot. So when you're finishing this garment, you'll probably turn this under and everything will be perfect.